Your phone isn't broken. They just spent billions convincing you it is. Last September, a guy named Marcus drove to the Apple store and spent $1,199 on a phone that was 3% faster than the one already in his pocket. He couldn't name a single thing his current phone couldn't do. But 24 hours after watching the keynote, his perfectly functional device felt inadequate. Not because anything changed, because Apple spent billions making sure he'd feel exactly that way. Marcus isn't unusual. He's the average American, and over his lifetime, that feeling will cost him $214,000. Today, I'll show you the exact 3-step system the tech industry uses to rewire your brain every September, and how to escape it. 3 mechanisms: the real lifetime math, and a 4-step exit plan. Most people have never actually run these numbers, so let's do it now. The average American replaces their smartphone every 33 months. Modern phones last 5 to 7 years. Average price over $850. Flagships routinely cross $1,000. Upgrade every 2.8 years over a 40-year adult life. That's $12,000 on smartphones alone. Before cases, chargers, warranties, financing, but phones are just the entry point. Add laptops, tablets, smartwatches, earbuds. The Consumer Technology Association puts average household electronic spending at $1,700 per year. Over 40 years, $68,000 in direct spending. Invested at 8% annual returns instead, $340,000. When did you last calculate what your upgrade cycle is actually costing you? Because you're not buying technology. You're buying scheduled dissatisfaction, manufactured by companies whose business model depends on you feeling perpetually behind. And here's what makes this so hard to see. They don't need to make your old device worse, they just need to make you feel like it is. Who decided your phone was too old? You or the company that profits when you believe it? In 90 seconds, I'll show you exactly how, including the $500 million fine Apple paid after getting caught. So here's how it actually works. 3 levers, and they use all of them. The first is software. Every new operating system is built for newer hardware. Your 3-year-old phone can technically run the latest update, but it runs slower, drains faster, crashes more. In 2017, Apple admitted to deliberately throttling older iPhones. A $500 million settlement confirmed what users had suspected for years. The slowdown wasn't imagined. It was engineered. You didn't break your device. The manufacturer updated it into degradation. That's one. But software is just the start. The second lever is even more deliberate: repairability, or rather, the deliberate lack of it. An iPhone battery costs $15 to manufacture. Apple charges up to $119 to replace it. A consumer facing that bill on a 3-year-old phone thinks, maybe I should just upgrade. Exactly the calculation the manufacturer intended. That's 2. And if those 2 don't get you, the third one will, because this one doesn't touch your device at all. It only touches your perception of it. It's the annual release cycle, and it's the most powerful lever of the 3. Every September, the same phone you bought in January, unchanged, fully functional, suddenly feels like last year's model. The keynote doesn't just sell the new device, it sells dissatisfaction with the old one. Every camera comparison implies your photos are inferior. Every benchmark suggests you're falling behind. You're not watching a product announcement, you're watching a psychological operation designed to manufacture desire by manufacturing discontent. It works every time because it's not targeting your logic, it's targeting your identity. Now, isn't upgrading rational though? New phones are genuinely better, right? Here's the honest answer. The improvements are real, but they're imperceptible in daily use. A 2025 flagship and a 2022 flagship both handle everything 95% of users actually do: texting, calls, social media, streaming, photos good enough for Instagram, at roughly the same speed and practice. Like a Wayne State University study found users couldn't reliably distinguish between flagship phones across generations during everyday tasks. functionally identical. You're not paying $1,000 for a better experience. You're paying for the knowledge that you have the newest version. That's psychological satisfaction, not practical value. And that changes the math completely. Because if the experience is functionally identical, then the alternative almost nobody considers suddenly makes perfect sense: a refurbished flagship from 2 generations back at half the price. A refurbished iPhone 13 Pro costs around $450 in 2025 and does virtually everything an iPhone 16 Pro does daily. Excellent hardware, rational price, while the marketing machine tells you to look away. You now know how the system works. Here's what it actually costs over a lifetime. 2 people, identical tech needs. Person A upgrades every 2 years, buys new laptops every 3, replaces accessories on schedule. Annual spend $2,800. Person B keeps devices 4 to 6 years, buys refurbished, replaces only what fails. Annual spend $900. Gap, $1,900 per year. Over 30 years, person A spends $84,000 on tech. Person B spends $27,000. But the real number is the opportunity cost. That $1,900 annual difference invested at 8% compound returns grows to $214,000, $250,000, not lost in one decision, lost in dozens of small ones, each feeling completely reasonable, each manufactured by a system designed to extract maximum revenue from the gap between what you have and what you're told you should want. If that number lands, there's a subscribe button on this screen. What have you traded against a feeling lately? And it goes beyond money, because there's one more cost to this cycle, one the tech industry desperately hopes you never think about. The UN estimates 50 million metric tons of e-waste annually and growing. Manufacturing a single smartphone produces around 70 kilograms of CO2. Most of a device's lifetime footprint comes from production, not use. Every unnecessary upgrade is both a financial and an environmental decision. The pressure to upgrade is manufactured. The embarrassment of keeping an old phone is manufactured. The $214,000 disappearing from your future is not. So what do you actually do about it? That's the system. Now the exit. 4 steps. And you can start today. First, measure your device against your actual use case, not theoretical maximums. Texting, email, social media, streaming, your 2-year-old phone handles all of it. New features exist to create demand, not serve existing needs. Second, maintain what you have. A $100 battery replacement that adds 2 years of life beats a $1,000 upgrade every time. Factory reset sluggish devices. Most slowdowns are software buildup, not hardware failure. Third, buy refurbished when you do upgrade. Certified refurbished devices come with warranties at 30 to 50% off new. The stigma is manufactured by companies who profit from selling new. Fourth, upgrade on your timeline, not theirs. Smartphones should last 4 to 5 years, laptops 6 to 7. Upgrade when the device can't run what you need, not when a keynote tells you something newer exists. Marcus drove home with a phone that felt exciting for 72 hours. Like by Monday, it was indistinguishable from what he'd left behind. The payment plan runs 24 months. In 18 months, the next keynote manufactures the dissatisfaction again. The upgrade illusion doesn't attack your device, it attacks your perception of it. The oldest device in the room might just be the smartest financial decision in the room. Unplug, keep what works, invest the difference.